One by one, the 5 great protectors of Shaolin were killed and the temple was on the brink of extinction. However, just as everyone was at a loss, a mute monk stepped forward. But not long ago, Jackie was still diligently practicing the highest level of internal martial arts at Shaolin, fetching water and chopping wood. He wore iron shoes on his feet, making it difficult to walk, as if his feet were carrying 1,000 pounds. While others filled their water buckets on time, he couldn't even fill half of his after toiling away. His master criticized him for not being able to endure hardship and advised him to leave the mountain as soon as possible. Jackie couldn't express his grievances, so he knelt down with a thud, his head banging loudly. The master decided to give him another chance. Jackie traveled up and down the mountain several times, his shoulders bleeding from the effort, finally filling the water bucket. But as soon as he sat down, the master punished him by sending him to chop wood. When Jackie was exhausted from chopping wood, a drunken monk came to him. Seeing Jackie crying, the monk performed a set of drunken fist techniques to guide him. Jackie imitated the drunken monk's movements, practicing the drunken fist. After the monk left, Jackie practiced the drunken fist with great accuracy. Suddenly, he heard a sound and quietly followed it. He entered the forbidden area of the temple and found himself face to face with Kong, a fierce demon. Kong not only overturned the steamed buns brought to him but also cursed and drove away 2 young monks. After the monks left, he tried to pick up the buns but couldn't reach them. Jackie carefully approached, picked up the buns, tore off the dirty crust, and handed the peeled bun to Kong. Kong devoured it, and Jackie then brought him a bowl of water. After eating and drinking his fill, Kong instructed the Jackie to bring him wine next time he came. That night, people heard someone challenging the Shaolin wooden men, but soon the challenger was beaten badly. The next day, while everyone was eating, Jackie stole wine from the drunken monk and cautiously brought it to Kong. Unexpectedly, Kong complained that the wine was insufficient and demanded that the mute monk bring him a jug of wine if he wanted to learn his techniques. He claimed to be practicing a skill called Lion's Roar, which, once mastered, could shatter iron with a single roar. Jackie ran to the kitchen to steal wine but was caught by the drunken monk. He was then punished with several days of kitchen duty. Before leaving, the drunken monk rewarded him with a jug of good wine. Jackie happily went to find Kong, who was experiencing fluctuations in his condition due to his intense training. Under Jackie's careful care, Kong recovered. Touched by his kindness, Kong decided to teach Jackie martial arts but made him promise to deliver a letter after successfully passing the test and not to tell anyone. Jackie agreed and knelt down to kowtow to his new master. The Kang style aimed to kill the opponent as quickly as possible. Jackie, lacking basic skills, practiced clumsily. However, through diligent practice, Jackie gradually improved, but each move was filled with deadly intent. A Shaolin nun witnessed him practicing these lethal techniques. She told him that martial arts were not for killing but for self-improvement, using violence only when necessary and with minimal harm. She taught him the gliding snake style. The nun instructed him to walk in a pool filled with oil, making it extremely slippery, yet she walked as if on solid ground. Jackie couldn't even stand steadily at first, always falling as soon as he stepped in. The nun said that mastering this martial art required laying a solid foundation. Later, Jackie remembered the secret of carrying water with iron shoes, focusing his inner strength on his feet, practicing like flowing clouds in water. After mastering it, the nun reminded him not to raise his foot higher than his chest and not to use his hands to attack the vulnerable points. With guidance from Kong and the nun, Jackie's techniques became impeccable, surpassing most Shaolin disciples. Jackie wanted to leave the mountain, but Shaolin disciples needed to pass through the Shaolin wooden men to do so. The first challenge must be completed within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. 2 rows of wooden dummies stood neatly. When the mechanism was activated, the wooden dummies began to punch and kick. Jackie maneuvered through the narrow space, dodging and flipping effortlessly. He easily broke through the first half of the challenge, but only half of the incense stick remained. The next wooden dummies were not as easy to deal with. Not only could they punch and kick, but they could also move around and even form formations on their own. Jackie was clearly struggling, and with half of the incense stick about to burn out, he suddenly remembered Kang's words, "If you want to strike someone, be prepared to be struck." Like a man possessed, he attacked fiercely, pushing forward against the odds, and finally passed the first challenge. Jackie reached the second challenge, where a 1,000-pound incense burner blocked the exit. To pass, one must concentrate their internal energy into their arms and move the incense burner aside. After preparing himself, Jackie lifted the incense burner, his arms sizzling on the scorching hot metal. With all his strength, he managed to move the incense burner, leaving the marks of his efforts on his arms. This was the proof of passing the Shaolin Wooden Men. On his way down the mountain, he encountered the abbot, who knew that Shaolin disciples under 5 years of training were not allowed to learn martial arts. Kang taught him martial arts with ulterior motives. The abbot initially intended to get rid of Jackie, but couldn't bring himself to harm him. He asked if Jackie wanted to deliver something for Kang, but Jackie remained silent. Seeing Jackie's reluctance to speak, the abbot didn't press further. He reminded Jackie to use his martial arts for righteous purposes and gave him a letter, instructing him to find the hermetic monk if Kang escaped from the Shaolin temple. After descending from the mountain, Jackie fulfilled his agreement with Kang and delivered the token to the owner of the pharmacy. Jackie was on the hunt for the murderer of his father when he encountered Kang being attacked by Shaolin disciples. It turned out Kang had escaped after mastering Lion's Roar, shattering his iron chains. Out of a sense of gratitude, Jackie asked his friend to distract the Shaolin disciples, allowing Kang to escape. However, Jackie witnessed Kang's ruthless slaughter of innocent people and realized he was not a good person. As Jackie pondered, he suddenly noticed someone using the same martial arts technique that killed his father. All the clues pointed to his master, Kang, who sought revenge as well as justice. Remembering the abbot's advice, Jackie went to find Hermetic Monk. Upon Jackie's arrival, the Hermetic Monk knew it was time. It turned out Kang was once the Hermetic Monk's disciple. After causing trouble and harming people, Kang was captured by Shaolin but remained unrepentant. Unexpectedly, the Hermetic Monk felt guilty for Kang's actions and blinded himself, vowing never to take another disciple. The abbot vouched for Jackie's purity of heart and innate talent. Feeling responsible for Jackie's plight, the Hermetic Monk handed over a book containing the ultimate martial arts style, which happened to counter Lion's Roar. After imparting his wisdom, the Hermetic Monk passed away. Under the abbot's guidance, Jackie trained in various exercises such as moving boulders, strengthening his arms, and practicing handstands. He mastered the tiger step technique, unstoppable like a roaring river. On his way down the mountain, Jackie encountered Kang. With the 5 great protectors of Shaolin consecutively killed, the temple was on the brink of destruction. From Kang's confession, Jackie learned that Kang was the one who killed his father. Fueled by hatred, Jackie challenged Kang on behalf of Shaolin. Jackie had sworn never to speak until he found his father's killer. They fought fiercely, initially evenly matched. But as the battle prolonged, Kang struggled against Jackie's youthful vigor. Despite Kang's attempt to use Lion's Roar, Jackie countered with the ultimate technique. As Kang begged for mercy citing their master-disciple bond, Jackie hesitated, but Kang suddenly attacked. Fortunately, Jackie dodged in time, and Kang met his own downfall. In the end, Jackie renounced his former life and became a true monk.